Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Mike Check Mania. I'm Justin Stuckey, alongside with my amazing co-host Xavier Soller. We've only been gone a week, but it feels like a year. Had a lot of stuff going on, but we're back and better than ever.
Yeah.
We didn't stop, and one thing that also didn't stop was LFG. We're here for the recap. Xavier, are we on episode 7 now?
We gotta be. I mean,
Time is
it's up
flying
there.
by.
Time is flying by, and there's been a lot of stuff that's been going on, a lot of character development,
Mm-hmm.
um, opportunities of growth, and people who started off strong, not as kind of went stagnant. People that didn't show any signs of anything are like shining right now. So that's the beauty of competition and working as a team and just all the tangibles and tangibling together. Just making words up, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's been awesome. Every week they seem to have now brought in a guest superstar to kind of conduct a certain episode and get a certain quality or attribute out of each individual wrestler, which has been awesome. And Gunther walks through the door, and it is very much cold hearted, gritty, just to the core. And that's what wrestling is. And
I don't
that's
like
what
his
they
energy.
talked about, early on, as far as like getting that, taking the polished and making them not so polished, making it a battle, making it a story in the ring, and developing the heels versus the baby faces. I don't know. I love this stuff. We love this stuff, y'all. We are here for you, and we get to do this every week. And we are going to break down. I know you guys are watching. LFG has been off the charts, but um, Stuck, kind of break down the start. You see Gunther walk through the door, and what are you feeling? I know you got like a love-hate relationship with Gunther.
Yeah,
Talk to me, man.
I respect everybody. I respect his game. Not the biggest fan of him personally. He could be kayfabing the whole thing. We don't know. But what I get from him is he brings a level of intensity, like the energy in the room as soon as he walked in. It was kind of like stone cold silence, like that energy, that tense feeling. And he just started going at people, just off rip. Goes at Zena, goes at Jasper Troy, goes at Tyra. Brother even went at The Undertaker. And it
He
just was like
definitely want to take her.
I was like, all right, now obviously with these futures, they're going to be looking up to a champion. He's not going to be champion for long. Shout out Jay Uso. I'm saying, but yeah, yeet. He's doing this thing, and so they're going to be able to. Hopefully, they can take the criticism well, but he's going to immediately come at people's throat. Like he talked to Tyra May
Sure.
Steele. You smile too much for somebody
Oof.
that's an Olympic champion in wrestling specific. Like I want to see a certain type of intensity. And then he kind of called her out and said, well, I guess that's not working out. I guess that's not paying the bills. That's why you're here. And that's like an ego shot because as somebody who I was a guy as an athlete, like you see them trophies up there, like once that stops, it's sometimes a gut shot, with your identity and things. And so he's
Mhm.
coming for the throat.
Yeah, he really was.
Same
It was
same
kill
thing with
shots.
Zena. He's like, why are you here? He told everybody, if you're just here just to try to become a superstar, that's not enough.
He said, I don't want to try. I want to try. I
Yeah,
was like, oh, Gunther's cooking right now. Oh man, that
yeah.
was dumb. I want to
And
try.
when he met with the coaches, the legends, let's refer to them as the legends,
Yeah.
and he went at Taker. Taker even said he was like, for a second, he was like, hold up now, you know who you're talking to?
You saw him look over at the other coaches when he said that.
Yeah.
He's just like,
Why don't you see that? Why don't you see that she needs to tap into another thing? And I'm gonna put this to the side and give Xavier his credit. Xavier said off rip that Zena needs to tap into her aggressive side and get away from the ditzy blonde. And that's exactly what happened. And there was success in that. I don't want to
mm-hmm.
get too far ahead, but I want to go ahead
Sure,
before
sure.
we start. Give you your flowers.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thought that was good. I'm theory stuck. I don't know what your title is, but you were on point with that one.
Yeah, she's just, again, I told you, She is Harley Quinn on steroids. Like she's not a little girl.
No, she's big.
She's a very fit and fantastic woman. Like her build is amazing. Like
Mm-hmm.
she's got a wrestling frame.
She's like a Rhea
S-
Ripley build, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. It's not even.
There's.
Yeah, I can't even say wrestling frame. Like she is like she's on the above average build of
Mm-hmm.
like an Alexa Bliss or Liv Morgan, super talents, superstars. But like she's in another category of heavyweight.
Her body's
So
makeup's also different. Like she's taller than them, so
yeah,
like,
yeah.
mm,
Yeah, and obviously we know that the work ethic is there. It showed that from jump. She's like just jumping in marathons just for the heck of it. Like not a
crazy.
lot of people are go out and get it type of people, especially when it comes to those athletes. Some people just get by on their athletic gift and they don't even work. But
Mm-hmm.
she, you could tell, really puts in the work and loves to challenge herself. And the ditzy thing was just, I'm like, you're too big. Like it just
It
doesn't
don't work.
fit your whole image, your aura, your frame. It don't work. So
Was it with her that we kind of talked about the Luke Gallo Festus example of where like you're kind of that ditzy, but then when that bell rings, it turns on.
yeah, and you actually made that point.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
made that point, and that's what I was kind of getting, and you're kind of seeing where Tyra kind of has that same thing as well. But when they showed her cut scene of her standing there, and her just like that, and I was just like, it's right there.
Yeah.
There it is. That's Zena. I mean, heck, the name Zena to begin with, Xena Warrior Princess. That name isn't to be slept on. That name
Hmm.
comes with so we only know one Xena throughout history, and that was Lucy Lawless throwing that little thing around with Hercules. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Xena alone is a strong, just like one of those names that it carries so much weight to it. So you're walking in and you got it, but it didn't click with the I just it was like you were thinking too much, and now she walked in and killed that smile and
Hmm.
was just standing there afterwards. I go, yo, yo,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a whole different woman. And
There's a
even
lot of
Alicia was like, "Did we saw a whole different side?" I'm like, and Bubba's like, "I think you just answered it. We did see a whole different side." I was like, "Yeah, we
Hey,
did."
what
So
was Sean in this one? Shawn Michaels, or was it just Alicia
Sean popped
Taylor?
in for a hot second.
Okay, because I know Alicia was more so directing and narrating,
Yeah,
hosting. Um, One thing I hate to see, Danny was going through the back problems. Danny Sikelski, she's
yeah,
been in every episode, featured in
hmm
every single one,
yeah,
which is telling. But she was going through the back issues, and it definitely kills that stereotype or assumption that wrestling's fake. That we all don't like to hear. Like these are athletes performing at a high level of entertainment, and injuries happen. I mean, we
yeah.
saw Shiloh get dropped in the middle of the ring for real. So it just goes to show a better appreciation and the behind the scenes of the work. So I thought that was pretty cool. Another thing that I didn't think was cool, um, Bubba Ray. I've said this at the jump. He could not be my coach. Bubba is hating on Tyra religiously. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Somebody you smile too much. Gunther said the same thing. I don't like that. And Tyra answered the challenge. It pissed her off.
What did it do?
Got it right.
It it brought that dog out in her,
Brought
didn't
that
it?
dog. It brought that
He's
dog
not
out of her.
stupid.
No.
Bubba Ray is one of the most clever judges. Sorry, legends. Excuse me, legends on the show. He takes that mental approach to
Mm-hmm.
where he's going to get in your psyche. What did he would She has been so, and I'm so sorry if you watch this. I don't even know her name at this point. She has been the least effective person on the show. What is her name? She's literally only been in one match. Help me out. She's the one
Oh,
that's
oh, 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 oh. Linton. Serena Linton?
yeah, and I feel bad because I'm like I'm
With
sure
the
she's a
story
great
about the dad getting deported?
yeah.
Yeah, Serena
And when
Linton.
you saw what he did there. Now do that without me doing that. Do you see what just happened there? He is so tactful in his approach, and he is just trying to see, like they all are, what else can you do? We see you smiling, but if we have to make you a heel, what does that look like? We see you in your comfort zone, but what does outside of your comfort zone look like? I think that Tyra has the hardest, and I'm not saying everybody else, but from what I'm seeing, I think she has the hardest hurdler. She has the hardest hurdle to get over. Sorry, my track and field days came out. I missed
Hey.
those hurdles. Um, she has the hardest hurdle to get over, and I think that if I say it this way, I think you of all people will get it. Being an athlete on the level that you were on, Stuck, she is a gold, an actual Olympic gold medalist. I don't care if it's skeet shooting. I don't care if it's the 100 free butterfly. I don't care if it's the sprint, the 100-meter dash, right?
Yeah.
Being a gold medal and being a gold medal winner or a medal winner at all, or just an Olympian, hell,
Mhm.
just getting there is hard enough, right?
Super.
So all the discipline and the focus and the determination and grit that it takes to be an Olympic athlete, and no matter what you do, to say I've been on this high gear all this long, and to
Mhm.
step in a ring and to say associate wrestling, the only wrestling I know is to put you through this mat.
Yeah.
I need to destroy anybody that steps onto this mat with me. So how do you take that mentality and dumb it down to I went from killing everyone in the ring with me to now I
Mhm.
have to protect but
And work with.
still kill everyone in the ring with me? How do you half-ass a high jump?
Yeah, you can't.
You can't, right? So I think she has the hardest hurdle to get over because again, she has such a killer instinct, and regardless, her approach is her approach.
Mhm.
She is at the dinner table. It don't matter how you got to the table. You were at that table eating. And she's been
Mhm.
doing that for a very long time. But how do you turn that down? How do you dial that back? And so that's the judges. I think that's their focus right now is trying to figure out how to talk to her in that language to get her to understand what this wrestling is, right?
Mhm.
So I don't know if you have any thoughts for that, but again, I could just see her want they said you came in with the most set of skills in the
Mhm.
wrestling ring, right? So I'm like, yeah, but all hers be really like destroying folks. So again, how do you figure out how do you do that as a wrestler? How do you bring that level of intensity down a notch?
I agree with your point of she has the hardest, biggest hurdle to get over. Um, she has to adjust, adapt, and in a way tone it down. You got to learn how to keep the same level of focus as an athlete that you had, intensity, but you have to put them in different places. You know what I'm saying? Um, she may have been in that match where they said that she was kind of going too slow and she wasn't, staying on it. That's your moment to bring that out. You know what I'm saying? Show the
Hmm.
aggressiveness because, like you said, about let's kill when it's time to go. Now, granted, I'm
Hmm.
not gonna compare Cutler James or BJ Ray to her because of she's an Olympic gold medalist, but they were wrestlers as well at a high level at Duke. Like BJ
Sure.
Ray was a national champion,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
learning how to use the skill sets that you have coming in makes you look flawless in the ring, but you have to know how to tailor it to the entertainment side of things.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
that's why it's hard. You know, that's why if anybody could just go be a great wrestler and then just come to WWE and be flawless, everybody would do it. You know what I'm saying? We've seen
Hmm.
people who come in there and don't have success, and we've seen people who come in there and do have success. Kurt Angle,
Ankle lock, that's all.
Angle, yeah. Kurt Angle is the gold standard for an Olympic wrestler coming into the WWE and transcending it. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
So
sure.
you just
He
have to
might have
learn
he
how
might have
to,
been for any athlete after
yeah,
that, they were like, "Oh, this might be our ticket." So
yeah,
every athlete, whether you played where you were a swimmer or a football player or Olympic, like he's the reason why I think these guys have a shot now. These guys and gals have a shot.
yeah. Because like
Go ahead.
the only thing I can think of, granted, I'm not saying that football players aren't athletes at all, but you look at somebody like Kurt Angle, he was a pure athlete. You know what I'm saying? Majority of the time, you only had football players transitioning into wrestling. Like
Yeah.
Goldberg, we talked to him, like going from the NFL. Roman Reigns later on, but The Rock, you know what I'm saying? Going from that, didn't work out for him, going into the WWE. Now you have athletes from all over the spectrum of sports. We've seen gymnasts in there, track and
Yeah.
field
Yeah.
athletes, wrestlers, um, shot put throwers.
Yeah.
Oba Femi is his
Yeah.
name. Alabama. Didn't even know that.
Oh, I
He,
didn't know that
he
either
threw
until
at
right this
Alabama.
moment. No
Yeah.
way.
He was a thrower at Alabama. So you just see how
Oba, if you're watching, War Eagle.
War Eagles. Shout out to the Auburn Tigers.
Hey, give him a shout out.
Gotta give a shout out
This
to the Auburn Tigers. Final
this
four.
commercial is brought to you by them War Damn Eagles.
Yeah. Going to San Antonio. Handle
Amen.
business in the regional. We're gonna handle business in San Antonio. Making history. We got God on our side. We can't lose.
Hey, what they say, Oos?
Yeet. All right. Let's keep going. One thing I love about LFG is we get to see so much behind the scenes. So many things to where I always wondered as a kid, but as I've gotten older, I've gained the appreciation of seeing the craft and the beauty of how matches are transpired. We got to see Laurel, who's going as the babyface, and Bayley Humphrey, who's going as the heel, practice their match, kind of talk through things. I think that is great knowledge to know. They're starting to show it more on the main roster. We see those behind the scenes of like Royal Rumble or some of the stories we're hearing out. I heard a story about Randy Orton missing his rehearsal with the Undertaker for WrestleMania. I thought that was crazy. But getting to see that behind the scenes helps us gain an appreciation and helps us gain an understanding of what's supposed to happen in the ring. Just knowing like, okay, these are the scenarios. Like Leigh, go play the babyface. Bayley, you're gonna play the heel. Okay, we know what to expect and things to look out for in the ring. How should they be antagonizing the crowd, their opponent? How should they be trying to amp up the crowd on their side because they're the babyface? Everybody's supposed to be on their side. Things of that nature. Are they taking dirty shots? Are they, yelling at them? Things like that. So I appreciate that behind the scenes thing.
Yeah.
One thing I don't appreciate, and we gave our credit to Bubba because he knew how to get the best out of Tyra by making that comment, right?
Yeah.
I gave Mickie James a hard time. Then I kind of took it back. I didn't take it back, but I kind of gave her props. But she still babies Chris Allen way too much. I don't like, and Troy Yearwood. Like, the babying ain't working. We had Shiloh go up against Troy Yearwood, and they challenged Troy. Not really her, but a lot of people was like, all right, Troy, we need to see that dog. You know what I'm saying? He got every record in the building, right? You got the best physique. You next up. But can you tap into what we need to tap into?
And this is just one of those moments. He's another person I wanted to go a little more in depth on because there isn't a better pure athlete, call whatever you want. There's no better athlete in the LFG right now on paper than Troy Yearwood. Period. You would think, he
is Elijah
Shiloh.
Holyfield.
I thought they were saying Shiloh, but yeah. I see what you're saying. As far as like, just crazy work, whether it's God-given or work. I mean, obviously Elijah had some pretty good genes, but if anybody had the best genes, it's him. But
what do you do?
Yeah. Oh, bro, that still was hard, bro. I hope he get, like I said, we got it. I was like, that's again the kiss to the, just quick little moment, pay homage. But
keep going. My fault.
No. You look at a guy like that and you're like, man, as we've seen with athletes like Tom Brady or Kobe Bryant, I'm not comparing him to, but I'm saying to be that elite and again to hold every record to ever come through there, that's telling me one thing. That's a very lonely life. You have to cut, right? You have to cut out a lot of distractions. I'm 230 right now, but it's a sloppy 230. Okay, folks, I am not
Hey,
caked up with muscle right now.
Xavier has been on his grind though. How much did we down?
I'm down 15 pounds, y'all.
We down
Woo!
15 pounds. We turning that rubber into rock.
Rub
Yeah.
into rock. Ah, that's hilarious. I love that. I
Yeah.
love it. Yes, we are. We're working hard, trying to eat better. But I say all this to say that is a lonely life for one to live, to one to because you gotta meal prep, you gotta eat right, you gotta eat probably 6 times a day. You gotta make sure you
Mm-hmm.
have the shakes and all the other stuff. Then you got that's just there's a morning workout, probably an afternoon workout, and some type of evening workout. You do not get every record in the gym or the physique that that man has out here with all the friends in the world. So he's probably not a real big. I mean, you saw him over there reading, right?
He's
So
a
his
shy dude anyway.
personality, huh?
He's like a quiet guy anyway.
He's a quiet guy, and that's the whole point I'm getting at. So that's been his. He's been able to thrive in that habitat for so long because it fits his personality, and also it's like locked in. So now again, a teacher's job, a good teacher or a good whatever mentor, is to figure out a way to talk to each well, like a teacher to talk to each student in the classroom. Yes, as a teacher, you only get allotted like a certain amount of time for each class, but I have to talk to 20, 30 students at a time.
Mm-hmm.
But I know that they're not all going to hear the way I'm saying it. I'm going to have to be a little more hands-on with Xavier. Oh, I have to be a little standoffish and kind of let Justin kind of fall a little bit and then help him, right? So with Troy, you have to figure out how do I bring out this little meek, this very like just quiet little mouse, and how do I tell him that he's a lion? How do I
I get the
show
dog got him.
him that he's a lion? Because bro, he's was it Tony Atlas? He
Mm.
reminds me of Tony Atlas. Like this just pure, there's nothing, there's no gimmicks. It's like Rocky Johnson.
Mixed with
Bro,
Titus O'Neil.
yeah, that's all I see. So I'm like over here, how do you teach that? So again, LFG is the ground, y'all. Again, if you're just tuning in, LFG is the bare bones. It is basic training for wrestling. That's all it is. We don't know if you're going to the Air Force. We don't know if you're going to be a gunner. We don't know if you're going to be on computers. They are finding out everything about these wrestlers. So when Bubba has to go, you're smiling too much. He's not only trying to figure out what this other side is, but he's trying to see how far can I push this person before he breaks. Tyra, stop crying. Or what was it? Tatiana,
Tatiana.
stop crying. Like, there ain't no room for it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you can have your little moments, but have them over there. This is work time right now. We all on the clock. You know what I'm saying? So I hope I wasn't rambling or getting off track a little too much, but I'm just saying it's such a moment. This episode more than any. Um, and obviously we're gonna get to Jasper again. How emotionally I'm just like,
Bro,
bro, you showed a look like, come on, Jasper, not you, bro.
come on, man.
Let's go into that. Let's go into that. There's moments we got to get to, but that's a big moment of the episode, and it kind of transitions well off of this.
Do you want to jump in there now?
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead. I'll let you tee
Okay.
it up.
Jasper Troy versus Cutler James. Uh, I'm unaware of any relationship changes. I don't know if Cutler James is still dating Adriana Rizzo in real life.
Yeah,
Don't know. I told you about the video I saw. Don't know.
yeah,
Anyway, they're in a ring, and so um, I liked how the commentary from the legends. One thing I wrote down was that it said it took too long to throw him out the ring. Like I was like, oh, I would have never thought about that. Like you got to pick up the pace in these matches, but it makes sense because I know you've had the matches where you're like, dang, like this is boring, or like this is the time I need to go get something to eat to come back. You know what I'm saying? And you don't
yeah.
want to give out that performance to be like, man, this is what is this? Another thing, they said it was a wrong time for the double clothesline. So it's like
It
where
was.
both wrestlers go opposite turnbuckles, come back, boom, and go together. And it was like that's not the right time for that.
It
Like,
seemed out of place, even
yeah,
as
out of
someone
place for
that
the moment.
because you and I have watched so many matches, And not every match that's on Raw or SmackDown or NXT is like the most polished. Like people are going to miss their mark. We've seen it. We see
Mm-hmm.
all this, but we watched wrestling long enough to know like that felt out of place. So
Mm-hmm.
when they said it, I'm like, damn, I actually picked up on that too. I didn't verbalize it like a judge. I'm not critiquing it aloud, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I just like something wasn't right about that. Like there was no
Yeah.
build up to it. It was just like boom, and then we're done.
Yeah. I was very confused by that. They talked about like get back in the ring, get back in the ring. That's all they were saying. Like, get back in. What y'all doing out here? And I think they
Yeah.
held their own out there, but they for the judges, for the legends, there's like this doesn't make sense for this match. Like, this isn't one of those long drawn out matches to where you're utilizing things outside the ring. The I was worried when they threw him into the steel steps. I was like, don't get nobody hurt. Are y'all ready for this?
Uh, I
And
did.
so
I
that's kind
also
of what I
thought
what'd you say?
what you thought. I didn't think it was a big deal that they were out there either. But again, we're not. I'm not a judge, so
Yeah, so I was just like, all right. But I think they may have wanted them to go a different direction. The one of the most clever things that I would have never thought about, and it's so simple. He says, "Why are you gonna chop somebody with a shirt on or a vest
Mickie
on?"
said that. Mickie
Yeah,
dove into that.
I was like, that makes a good point.
Yeah.
And
Wah,
once they got him out
wah.
of the ring, when they were done with their match, they were like, if you're gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna take a chop to the chest like that, like double, you need to make sure he gets that shirt off before you hit him. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's a great point. And then
And that was. Yeah. Yeah. Get him. Get him. Get him.
Gunther said, first off, take that look off your face. That's guys the type of energy I heard. Get that look off your face. Stop wearing your emotions on your sleeve. You need to
Mm-hmm.
get rid of that shirt anyway. And I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
exactly what it made me think about when he said that? Remember when I asked you in our preparation for the Goldberg episode, we were asking him about is there any version of Goldberg we didn't get to see? And how he was embarrassed to go out there in basically his underwear. And I asked you, I was like, why couldn't he have just decided to wear what he wanted? And you were like, you don't want to cover up any of the physique and the muscle. And that's the same thing when it comes to Jasper Troy. Don't cover up your intimidation factor. You're a big dude, but we don't really get to see anything because you wearing first off, I think the fit is goofy, if I'm gonna be
I
honest. It look
think
hot.
I think there's fluff behind it. I think it's flubby, and I don't mean any disrespect because that man
Mm,
would snap me in half. But I guarantee you, him being the emotional person that he is, I guarantee you, he's not comfortable in his own skin.
mm,
You look at Troy Yearwood. Why would anybody want to take their shirt off next to him?
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he probably doesn't feel secure. But look at what was it Ivan and Eric? Them dudes are
Love
the
him.
hairiest, just humans. I won't, because I don't want to hurt nobody's feelings. I'm gonna leave
Real
it right there.
Vikings.
But those dudes are very secure. It don't matter
Mm-hmm.
because who's going? We the champs. Come with us. We'll snap you in half. We not out here trying to be cute. We here trying to be badass and wrestle.
Yeah.
So that's what he needs to tap into. I like that Gunther kept the foot on the neck because again, we're out here trying to test people to their limits. So if you're gonna be tough, get on the mic, and we're gonna get right to Chris Island here in a minute off this. If you're gonna get on the mic and go after CM Punk, the greatest, as you say,
Yeah.
as a lot of people say, um,
The best in the world.
best in the world, you can't be out here over up in your feelings when someone is critiquing. No, 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 no,
And
no, no. He
that
said,
didn't make sense to me.
where you at now, man? I was like, bruh, you're the last person that should be doing this. But go ahead to your thought and then kick it over to that gear.
It didn't make sense to me. After you drop an epic promo like that and then want to be in your feelings, I was just like,
Yeah, it
okay.
makes you look this
But
small.
one thing you just said, and I don't want to skip over this match. You talked about like if you're gonna take the initiative to go in that mic. This is what I don't like. Shiloh Hill did it. Tyra May still did it.
Oh, there you
Stop
go.
getting on the mic acting big and bad after the fact. So we
Mm-hmm.
had Tyra versus Zena, right? They do their match. Basically, the challenge for both of them is we need to see more fire out of y'all. Zena, we're killing that little dumb blonde bit. Tyra, you keep rocking this gold medal. Let's see what an actual gold medalist looks like and perform out here in this ring. have their match get done. First off, Zena. I don't know if we talked about this when the cameras were rolling or not. I think it was before. Mickie James goes at Zena about what she's wearing. And for a second, I didn't know where she was going with it. And I was like, oh, she went there.
Yeah, it was weird.
Don't have your, what she say? Don't have your butt out or something.
Yeah. She said, I hate all these wrestlers now. And she's like, I've had everything out, but we worked to a certain point to where y'all didn't have to do this anymore. But I was like, and if you don't know what we're talking about, Mickie James was talking about a female wrestler and her attire, saying, what'd she say? Glorified or jazzed up. She said jazzed up lingerie.
Yeah, lingerie is what I wrote down.
And I was like, I just wasn't following very well because I'm like, was she supposed to come out with a trash bag on or like coveralls? Like, that's not her character.
I just think she didn't want that attention on that rather than how she performed.
Yeah, she said, I hate when wrestlers come out and all you can see are their butts, pretty much. And that's all you pay attention to. I was like, they're nice butts. But anyways, all right. Well, that's besides the fact. Come on, Mickie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like why are we
cakes?
Why are we body shaming or any type of like we should be lifting them up. They should be proud and feel good in whatever they're wearing to the ring. You know what I'm saying? Because how much can you do with a wrestling outfit, wrestling attire? What you're supposed to wear jeans and like that's kind of.
I think it was the back part though. You know how in this modern day when girls wear the bikinis, it's more like a thong on the bottom rather than just that. I think that was the makeup of it. And granted, Zena is big. She's muscular. You know, she ain't got no flat. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's good advice to give her. Granted, this is TV, so I don't know if they wanted that effect. Maybe something better to tell her on the side. But she was I can see Mickie James's point though.
I could see it too, and maybe that's not a side conversation. I think it is a put it out there, but then critique it, but then let the world know, let the other wrestlers that are coming up or girls that might be wanting to wrestle or girls that are in it right now from NXT or SmackDown, wherever, listening and watching this, let them know how they can do better, how they can fix it, or what you mean by that, because it just was like, stop having your ass out. What do you want me to wear then?
Yeah.
Like, who's your tailor? You know, like.
Cody, who's your tailor?
Yeah, Cody, who your tailor? Pinstripe.
We need that. We need that. We need that.
So
back to Tyra.
And then Tyra's I don't know if you saw, but when she was saying that Tyra was looking down, adjusting her thing, was like kind of looking. But I think Tyra's is perfect. Tyra's is perfect. So
she goes and they tell her she didn't get the job done. Right? I was like, dang. You notice the only person that didn't say nothing was Bubba. He's the only one who didn't give no critique. And then we get to the classic solo interview where Tyra got something to say. He said, I got something to say. I got something to get off my chest. And she starts talking about people dying, how much emotion goes into what she does, what it took for her to get to that pinnacle. And we see the craziness. I'm just going to call it craziness. Start to swell up and come out of her. And I wrote down, had hecka excuses. Why all these promos after the fact? If you're going to say something, you're going to speak up, say it then. Don't give me what we've been looking for the whole time when you're not supposed to use it.
Yeah.
That does nothing for us. Do it in the ring.
They ain't back there. They didn't see that.
That's what I'm saying. Like Shiloh Hill did the same thing.
Yeah.
Like
they dropped the ball, but look, you and me know just as well as anybody, whether we're having a down day, an up day, a midday, when that camera comes on, when that mic is flipped on, we got to turn it on. They're looking for you to be able to turn that on the drop of a dime. Like that's what that's what you have to be able to do in this industry.
Yeah.
Nope. The people that didn't stand up, they were like, their excuses were, oh, I just didn't want to go up there and fake it. And I just wasn't in the moment. You're not always going to be in the moment to cut a promo. There's a lot of times because at some point, this is work.
Yeah.
This is your job.
Just because you don't feel good, you ain't going to show up? No.
Yeah. Like there are days I don't want to drive 2.5 hours to Birmingham and 2.5 hours back to go work for the squadron, you know. But I gotta turn it on when I get there. I gotta have that energy. That drive
Mm-hmm.
might kill me, but when I get there, you pay me to be on. You know what I mean? So that was a moment where I was like, Zena, I felt like was the only one that took their critique and just showed it. She didn't say nothing. She let her wrestling do the talking. That
Mm-hmm.
Shiloh moment, that Tyra moment. I go, stop cutting this. I even said that while I was watching. I go, oh, don't do this now. Don't do this now. Like,
It could be the TV effect.
and it could be we don't know what was said because I've been on TV and those where they prompt you to say stuff. So I was like, it could have been one of those moments, and I think they set Shiloh up the same way. But nonetheless, we know you could do it. Now go do it when you need to do it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so
Period.
period. Period.
La- we got our last match of this LFG episode. Bayley, Humphrey, Leigh Laurel. Good to see Leigh Laurel back.
I
Leigh
know,
Laurel
right?
is swole. I always see her on Instagram. My goodness. Bayley Humphrey ain't no joke neither.
I got them all down. I was like,
That's it for sure.
I bet you I ain't messing with her.
Oh no. I
You
really
can
don't
have
want to
my
talk about.
fries. Hey, go
Do you
ahead,
want
take
to
my
talk
fries.
about? You want to talk about the match itself? Because I kind of want to talk about the legends points to them afterwards. Do you have any comments about the match itself between the two?
Well, I think the match was good, right?
Yeah,
They gave them a lot of love. I think they gave them the most love. Um,
it hit that
and
Kali.
Gunther said it best. Yeah, Gunther. He said the cranium. He got all excited because he
Yeah,
saw a move that you don't normally see. It
it's
doesn't
been a
fit a
minute.
lot of people. It fits her perfect.
Yeah.
Um, she is using her build to her benefit, right? She is that was second match, right? That was her second match ever.
Yeah.
She has no choice. No offense on the term, but to dumb it down because she don't know that much. Less is more in the world of acting, as they say.
Mhm.
Less is more. And Gunther even said, I like basic. I like bare bones, basically,
Yeah.
right? So I think you got just an old fashioned match. He said, I could tell who was who in the match. So it just had all the components of I think, a really good match.
Yeah.
Um,
One thing they told her was they asked her. They said, "Hey," well, they asked what her background was,
mhm.
because the only negative for Bayley was that they want to see her move around like an athlete. They said, "You're an
Yeah.
athlete, you got to show it." And they asked her about her
Yeah.
background when it came to competitive cheer. And then Mickie was like, "Were you the base?" And she was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "That makes sense because you feel the need to protect all the time."
Yeah.
She said, "You aren't gonna hurt her, and if injuries happen, that's how it goes. Everybody gets injured." And so
Mhm.
giving her that comfort and that security to know, hey, let me just be free and let loose and
Yeah.
trust it, I think that'll ultimately help her because you don't want to be too stagnant. Like Great Khali's ultimate downfall was that he was too stagnant. He couldn't move. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah. He's
you know what I'm saying? Like,
that
she's
you
more
can't.
athletic than him.
Yeah. Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if you can be that dominant force like what he was, but still move around well, man, you could be
Hmm.
something. And so I
Yeah.
thought that was
So
good advice to her.
I think so too. Again, they let her know it was her time to shine.
Mm-hmm.
You're you're always lifting up, literally, figuratively, and literally. You're always lifting up these girls. Your athletes. You were there to help spotlight them. Now it's
Mm-hmm.
your time to have the spotlight on you. Let it go. Let's see what you can do. Again, she might be one of the more athletic ones in the group. You
Yeah,
saw this, bro. She had this girl up here and did the splits. What? Ain't nobody doing that. There's
bro.
not one person that can do that out of any of those women.
Yeah, her
Use
finishers could
that.
go crazy because that's
Her
just an easy
finisher when
one.
she
That's a
figures it,
submission type.
bruh,
Picking them
bruh.
up.
Bayley, you're a beast. We can't wait to see where you end up, because we know you're going to be a star. We know you're going to be a force to be reckoned with in this business. Keep
Mm-hmm.
doing your thing, girl. That's all I got to say.
We had some history made on LFG. Bubba Ray, this group got their first point.
First point.
Zena was the
Shout out
one
to Zena.
to get the first point. Granted,
Yes.
I still believe the team would have more points if my boy BJ was on. But Bubba got his first point. And then our boy Troy got a point. Was it Troy Yearwood? I put Troy gets a point.
I don't think Troy got a point. It was Undertaker. Undertaker's team got a point.
Undertaker?
Who fought Jasper?
Shiloh Hill. He didn't get that point. No. Cutler James fought Jasper, but that's Bubba's group. Bubba didn't get 2 points. I thought Troy Yearwood got the point.
Did Troy get the point?
I thought Troy got the point.
Dang, I don't remember.
I think Troy got the point. Guys, this is one of the only times we aren't going to be certain about these points.
Yeah.
I
we're
wrote down
on
Troy
this.
gets point.
Okay.
So if we're wrong, let us know. We're all in this together. Like High School
Yeah.
Musical. You seen that movie?
Yeah, because Book was upset that they said his guy.
Yeah, they said Jasper didn't get that point. He said we'll get to that. Well, we can get to that now. Jasper had to talk with Gunther afterwards. And then this is what made me like, okay, this is TV. Did you see Booker talking to Jasper outside? Come here, dog. Come here, dog. Look, man. You know we got cheated at that point. Bro.
Yeah. He was all, he said, this is real, man.
It's real.
This is real. It's your family. It's how you eat.
It's how you eat. How
Hey,
you
come on, man.
Kids.
We go take care of business.
We can't let it happen no more. Look, man. Bro, that junk had me rolling.
That was definitely a TV moment.
I put Booker talks to Jasper, staged. Like, why are you going back inside? Where did you come from, Booker?
Where were y'all at?
That's all I want to know, because y'all met like this.
Again, back to the beginning of Raw, when they're walking in certain areas. Why are you in this stairwell right now? Where are you going? Why are you in there? What is happening? Make sense.
Why are you coming off the elevator like that?
Why is Jimmy and Jay on the stairs and Gunther is on the opposite wall with no door? Just standing there. Where the cameras at?
Oh my gosh.
So
we got a good guest coming up next week though. Yeah. DDP.
Oh, I used to do that all the time.
Is in the building, y'all.
Bro, DDP was my dude.
Mm-hmm.
Was my dude. The diamond cutter was everything.
He's doing a lot of great work too outside the ring, which is
we need to get him on as a guest. Matter of fact, we need to send that email this week because, again, so much more. Just if we can be, I know we ain't got millions of followers yet, but
oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe. I didn't even say that.
To get the let out to what he's doing for who he's doing it for, we're here to support DDP in anything that he does. So, yeah, man. What did you think about the episode as a whole?
Well, I want to say his last point because this here.
Go ahead.
Did you see Chris Island and Bubba have a little beef at the end going into the preview of next week?
And you could see why he would be the one, because everybody else is everyone else is so chill. P Nasty, Cutler, Jasper, not Chris, Troy. Like we're talking about some like just really calm and collected individuals.
Yeah.
Shiloh can be intense, but even he's pretty quiet, Drake, yeah. Everybody's quiet. I mean, we didn't see him this episode either.
He's just Roxanne Perez's boyfriend anyway.
Yeah. Oh, and who's the other boy?
Who?
Luke? Was it? Oh my goodness. Booker's team. Booker's team.
Light skinned brother.
Yeah.
Dang, what's Joker's name? Why are we blanking on his name, y'all?
I don't know. Well, I guess
He
you're getting
must
old
say,
too.
hey, my coach in high school said, if you never heard of them, they must not be that good.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Dang.
nonetheless, I don't know where I
Anthony
was gonna
Luke.
go. Yeah, Anthony Luke. That's why I
Yeah.
said Luke.
Yeah,
I was
gotcha.
kind of right. Um, so don't know where I was going now. What
Episode, what we think about the episode?
in a whole, it was a tough. It was a push to the limits kind of episode. So I'm gonna give it an A minus is what I'm gonna give it because we saw some limits pushed. We saw people tested, and I'm here for it. We were talking about Chris Island and
And
just
Bubba.
being that like dude that is probably the goofiest and just like most antagonistic one in the show right now. And like again, instead of doing shit like that, we need you to just focus on wrestling because you're not that good. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're
But it
not that
goes
great.
back to who is over him. It it wouldn't have happened with Booker. Wouldn't have happened with Show wouldn't happen with Bubba. They about to beef.
Let me talk to you, dog.
Yeah.
You
I need you to
know?
get right.
Yeah. And it was on to your point about coddling.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that is definitely something that you could tell that's happened to him the majority of his life. The way he
Mm.
holds himself, his mannerisms, the way he talks. That he probably was babied by his mother. I could be wrong. I hope I'm not offending anybody, but
All right,
you
Chris, I'm
know,
gonna flip you on your head.
yeah, like it's very like I'm gonna get the last poke. Like
Yeah.
you're that kid.
Little brother
Yeah,
syndrome.
you're that kid. Didn't nobody carry me? Yeah, he did. I'm gonna
He's
keep
still on
saying
that,
that
bro.
too. You know, like he did because he did. You know what I'm saying? For you to be more focused on, oh, I didn't get carried versus we worked well as a team. He did have my back. That's how
Mm-hmm.
you say that, but there's no, you could tell the maturity's not there, right?
Yeah.
So crazy athlete. I don't say he stinks in the sense of like you're not an athlete because anybody that get to walk through those doors are athletes, period.
Mm-hmm.
But you're very green when it comes to wrestling, which is why you're in boot camp. So keep your mouth shut. Like Gunther said, you keep your mouth shut.
Oh my
You do
gosh.
what you're told. I'm killing Gunther right now, by the way.
I can't stand Gunther, bro.
So, and that's what it is, though. He's right. There is a pecking order in wrestling. What did Amanda tell you? The story about Johnny, which
Oh
like
yeah.
Johnny coming soon, y'all. That's all we're gonna say. Johnny is coming soon, and he's bringing some friends with him. No, but I'm saying like there is they'll test you. Like you
Mm-hmm.
don't. That's why Undertaker of all people got into his feelings when he said, but you know what? Mature man who's been around the world has said, hey, he was right.
Yeah.
Who am I to take a moment where I can't, own up to my, you know what I'm saying? So
But he
I
said, who you talking
respect
to?
Undertaker for that. But still,
Do you know who you're talking
don't get
to?
crazy. Don't get crazy. Don't get crazy, Gunther. So,
D- do you know who you're talking to?
hey,
Watch it, son.
Gunther, why you always doing Jay like that? Is what why you
That's what we
all
should have
that we
asked.
almost forgot the most important. Why you
Why?
always doing my
Why
man
you
Jay
always
like
doing our
that?
boy Jay like that? Is it because you know you can lose that title? Let us know. But I
I
think it was
need
a good.
you to hurry up and watch Raw. That's all I'm gonna
I
say.
gotta watch it. I gotta watch it. I gotta watch
Oh my! And that's what I was saying earlier. Like you're either gonna just be like, shake your head
it.
or start busting up laughing. Because I threw my hands in the air and about got up and just walked out the room.
Okay, I'll watch it. I think it was a good episode overall. These episodes I think are different. I don't like repetitive stuff. I feel
Sure.
like everything we've seen is different. Like we're getting different sides, different angles. Think it's always at its most entertaining when BJ Ray is in there. I think that's just how it goes. Um, hopefully we can see the evolution of these characters. Hopefully going forward though, we don't see any more babying. Like at this point, we're 7 episodes in. I don't
Sure.
need you like we talked about the coaching aspect, it comes to the point where you can't keep saying the same thing. So it's going to be on the athlete to either get right or get left. And so I hope in episode 8, we see, okay, it's not going to be, hey, I need you to be more aggressive. It's like, okay, dude, go do it. Oh, that was horrible. Oh, that was good. We're making strides. You know what I'm saying? But hey, LFG is one of the most entertaining things to me since I've been a WWE fan. And we're going to keep the recaps coming.
And I got a question for you. I don't want to cut us off. I'm fueled by this episode. I really think there's a lot of meat on this bone. We've made it to, and it's not a pause moment. Come on. Your generation, I swear. Anyways.
Hey, y'all, before Xavier gets into this question, this man dropped the craziest line this week at the Sweet 16 on the mic. That joke was hilarious. He also had them to play Jey Uso's theme song in the
Which
arena.
Is crazy.
So
can we drop that in? Can we drop that little part in there? You got the video. Let them see it. Okay.
Go ahead.
With that being said, episode 7, we haven't come back to this in a while. We started with that. You actually asked this question early on. It was either episode 1 or 2. After episode 7, I want your top man and your top woman who you feel like is dominating the game right now, who's like really showing out and showing themselves, and like you feel like is a strong candidate for that number 1 spot.
Let's see. On the guy side of things, I think that's been the most consistent and also is getting tailored. Like going forward, I think we still have to go with Jasper, because if we can see, he's been doing really well 7 episodes in, but if he can continue to reinvent his character, not get so caught up in his emotions, it's only going to make him stronger.
Okay.
And Booker getting into his grill, I think you have to go with him right now off everybody we see. On the female side, I feel like that is the toughest competition, because you've had somebody like Danny who's been consistent, right? But we see in this episode she's battling back issues, injuries hinder. We see Tyra, who consistently people say has the best skill set together, but continuously is missing the mark as far as honing in her character. Zena may be back in the mix of things. You know what I'm saying? Because she's found that edge. I ain't seen P Nasty. Bayley Humphrey, if she can get their athletic ability. Laurel, I think, is sneaky there, though. But right now, I'm going to go with Zena.
Oh, yeah, Bayley's mouth getting busted down. She said, I'm just being a badass. Bayley's tough. Oh, we forgot about that. Bayley's tough.
Who you got?
It's wrestling. I will go Zena also. Again, I think she's the only one that took her critique and backed it up with work. She didn't make an excuse. She didn't have a breakdown. She didn't do anything of the sorts, but put the play into action. So I appreciate that about Zena. God, I would love to have her on the show and talk about her athletic journey. As far as the men, they're all in on Jasper.
Yeah.
Every last judge is all in on Jasper. I think that's a good assessment. Man, you want to say, you know, it's funny because I want it to be Troy or I want it to be Shiloh. And I think they're living up here right now. And we know that that's just not somewhere where you can maintain a residency very long, or you're going.
The gap is wide for the men.
Yeah.
Way closer for the women.
Yeah. So I'll say Jasper. Yeah.
Okay. Last question, because we got to wrap. Do you think we're going to see BJ Ray back in the ring in LFG?
Yes.
They have about 15, 16 episodes.
If the episode mark was accurate to what we said, how many they are. Also something that I know TV does, and they did it to me on the episode of American Idol that I was on. excuse me. I would love to know the exact order in which these matches actually happen the day of, because
Did
I
you hear?
don't believe
Did you
what
hear Danny
what.
say she got hurt in the last match? Talking about the last episode. They
Okay.
filmed her part when she was on the training table, and
Okay.
she referred to when she got hurt in the match previously, like so the previous week, but she said yesterday. So
Uh,
they filmed that. That's what I caught on to. So I was
okay.
like, dang, when are they filming these things?
Yeah. And what's the gap? And again, he's a strong enough personality to where you want him back on. So what is the actual gap? Because I don't believe that it's week to week. I
Yeah.
don't believe that it's like the same day every week. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be 1000% wrong, but
But with the
I
time, well, they filmed this a long time ago, but with the timeline of like when all these stars are coming in, like a Punk and a Gunther,
yeah.
like I'm just, yeah, I'm curious about that too.
Yeah, cuz it's like a shoulder. I've never had a blah, 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 could not talk. I've never had a serious shoulder injury, so I don't know how long. How long did he say he had in that episode?
He
Six to
said it was
eight
depending
weeks.
on the scans and stuff. It
Oh,
wasn't, it
okay,
wasn't crazy long,
okay.
but bring
So
Mickie back.
they could stretch it to make sure he gets his face shown, because it's one of the, like, they got to have that. I'm back. They got to have that moment. They're going to have that moment. It writes itself. You don't need to. He's going to eat it up. They'll eat it up. Bubba's going to have his look of disgust on his face. The team's going to be like, okay.
Does Cutler get kicked off?
No, I think Cutler and him go at it for their spot.
I think they need to kick Tatiana off and put
Oh,
BJ in.
Tatiana's going to be good. Again, you got to just get the mental. You got to help these folks with their mental fortitude. I don't even know if I said that word right. Did I say fortitude? Uh,
Get right or get left.
get right or get left.
That's all I gotta say.
Um,
Well,
no,
look,
I don't
y'all.
think you kick her off. Anyways, yeah, let's to be determined.
Yeah, and to be continued. Episode
Yes,
8 coming
yes,
soon. Hope you guys enjoyed this recap. Me and Xavier are excited to be back. Like I said,
yes,
been gone a week, but when we're away from you guys, it was like a long time. So make
yeah.
sure you go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend about Mike Check Mania, and we'll catch you guys for the next episode. We out of here.
Peace.